Hello, this is Opera SM with the From the Ashes Alliance of Coalitions, bringing you another Magic the Gathering Puzzle Quest video. Today we're going to focus on a deck using the newer Planeswalker, Calix Destiny's Hand. Some members of the From the Ashes Slack chat, Alfred, noticed that with the card and the first ability of Calix the Blessing of Nyx, pick one of the next three cards from your library, fetch that card. If that card is an enchantment or aura card, your first creature gets +4/+4, then it gains the enchantment subtype. Gaining the enchantment subtype was the interesting thing about this, because when combined with Archon of Sun's Grace, which has Constellation create a Pegasus token, this ability triggers when you cast an aura or whenever an enchantment enters the board under your control. If you make the Pegasus token, so you spawn a Pegasus token, and then if you can make the Pegasus token go in your first creature slot, then every time that you would create an enchantment Pegasus, it would trigger Constellation again, giving you an infinite stream of Pegasi. So this deck is built around, when Alfred let us know, we were all trying to figure out how the heck this happened on one of the Rising Inferno events, and then Nyarlathotep ended up having a way to recreate it, and we've been having fun just trying to play around with that a little bit. And my goal was, as often, is to go to infinity and beyond to make some sort of infinite combo deck with it. In white and green, there are not a whole lot of options in terms of infinite damage combos, but what I was able to figure out was we can use Bulrak, Clan Crusher. Whenever a creature you control is buffed, it deals 2 damage to your opponent's creatures, and combine that with Valor and Akrios. So all of our creatures, as soon as one of the Pegasus tokens comes into play, will all get buffed, and then Bulrak will trigger 3 times. Other things in this deck is some mana conversion. We have Temple Garden and Circuitous Routes. Temple Garden is in there over something like Animist's Awakening right now, because we have both Omen of the Hunts, which converts, and then when it dies you can fetch one of your lands. That's the only one we have. And then Death Sprout. So we have 2 spells that end up fetching lands. And with those shock lands like Temple Garden, if you've taken damage already, you get a convert 4 when it comes into play. So it's kind of like an 8 cost convert 4 to white and green, which is not bad in this deck with its +4 mana gains. What else in the deck? Sentinel's Mark is an aura that we have to give a creature +1/+2 in vigilance. It can also give it lifelink. This is the important piece here. I tried playing around with something like I think it's called Emergency Powers, the white-blue mythic that gives all your guys vigilance and first strike, but it's a little hard to focus on getting your Pegasus token in the front, your first slot with that. So as Nair found, Sentinel's Mark is probably one of the better cards for that, and you need enough auras and enchantments in the deck in order to be able to trigger the first slot fairly reasonably, the first loyalty ability. Nylea Keen-Eye. This is fast becoming one of my favorite card in multi-creature combo decks. It's an enchantment, so it fills that slot. Cost 12, support God. It has our little ability, which Resilient, which makes it very hard for it to be matched away on the board. As long as your devotion to green is 6 or more, your first creature gets +5/+6 and trample. This deck can actually trigger that ability sometimes, but it's mainly the bottom ability we're using it for. At the end of your turn, fetch the first creature card from your library, then each creature you control in your hand gets 2 mana. So this will help us find the 2 creatures we have in our deck and get them charged. It's great. And then let's see what else in this deck. We have Idyllic Tutor, so we can find our Nylea or our Valor and Akros, which are important. And then again, we have our Archon of Sun's Grace, the main combo we use with our Walker. Let me double check. I think I explained all the cards. Yes. So in terms of cards which are enchantments or auras in the deck, we have 4 of them. So Nylea's Sentinel's Mark, Omen of the Hunt, and Valor and Acrio. So that gives us a decent chance when we're looking at our top 3 to find one of those to buff up our Pegasus token, or to make our Pegasus token into a enchantment. So let's give this deck a run. It is a little bit clunky having to get, you know, those 3 cards and the token in the first slot to go, and then cast another aura or enchantment to get it going. But it's a challenge and still a work in progress. Again, I'm not sure if the Temple Garden or Animus Awakening are good, but I was having trouble not getting any value off of both Omen of the Hunt and Death Sprout. So deck's still in a testing phase, but wanted to give you a video. And again, we've got some fun series that we end up doing between FTA and Goblin Pile on their YouTube channel. Check it out if you've not seen it. It's great. They have an awesome series called Masterpiece Theater, which focuses on a masterpiece card and building around it. And I want to make a new series like I did with the Athreos Marauding Raptors machine gun deck, and this sort of deck just called To Infinity and Beyond, which focuses on infinite combo decks, because I'm a sucker for finding those, even if they're a little kind of second or third tier and janky like this deck is now, though hopefully it can develop into something else. All right, let's take a look. We're playing against Johnny, the one that makes a whole bunch of lifelink tokens, so we just want to make sure we get to late game, it's a little tougher to fight those guys, but let's see. So let's get Temple Garden on the board to start doing some conversions. And so he's got +3 to the Naya colors. Then we'll charge up a Death Sprout and see where we go from there. Let's see, we can match whites. That's our best bet right now. Maybe we can get a green on top if it falls. All right, great. We want to get Nylea in play as soon as possible so we can start doing other conversions. Let's see, we can convert green. We can also support convert white. Let's get this match 4 black, which will pop into the whites. Great. Oh, Greg is going off here. All right. Let's see what that support is. It has 6 shields. Overgrown Tomb. Okay. Let's see. So we'll get Nylea in play. Get our circuitous routes out to charge up a bunch of stuff. You can get, it's kind of slim pickings on this board here. We can convert some black. We can convert some blue. Blue does give us a slight bonus, so we probably go for blue over the blacks. Let's just take that for now. And as we see, it will start giving us our creatures and charging 2 a turn, so it starts giving us something. And you just saw when they matched our Nylea gem that it converted colors with that resilient ability. Ooh, what did he do? He got himself 8 night tokens. Is that Gideon's Phalanx? Yeah, I haven't seen that card in a while. Alright, cool. So he's got a little pressure on the board, and he's made it so it's a little harder for us to keep some stuff out. But we can Death Sprout it. And actually, I might wait a turn to see if I can. Well, we'll get our Angel out first, and then we will Death Spread it, because maybe if we take a little damage, then we can get some bonus here. So let's see, got a match 5 at some 4. That's good. All right, well, we're Death Spread at this turn, I guess. Can't be greedy too much, and taking 8 damage just to get another conversion when we don't have much in our hand is probably not the smartest play. It's too much of a fancy play. Okay, his middle ability of Calix, I'm learning what this new Planeswalker does. I normally tip, if you're going for value, wait to buy Planeswalkers unless you absolutely need them until every couple times a year. I think they usually have a Planeswalker sale where they're significantly discounted, but I got really excited when we saw this Infinite Pegasus combo thing, so I just sucked it up and have some negative EV and just bought it at normal price. But it is kind of fun to play around with. And let's see, his bottom ability is basically like a Starfield of Nyx, I believe. Yeah, at the beginning of your turn, return the first Aura card and enchantment card from your graveyard to your hand. Those cards gain full mana. So Yeah, so we'll might drop that a little bit before. And then the middle ability, exile target opposing creature with base power toughness X, then exile an opposing enchantment supporter with shield X or less. X is some of your devotion to green, and I think we've cast a decent amount of green, yeah, in this deck. So, all right, we can get a match 5 green here. Sorry for that little detour as I'm learning what my cards do as I play them. Let's see, we can get 3 green, 3 red. I think we're just going to go ahead and do that. Also get green and loyalty, but I'll just do that for now. Great, and then we can just get the ultimate out just so it's there, because we're still kind of waiting around for some other stuff. Oh good, there we have a Valor and Acreos. So I think what we're going to want to do is play the Valor and Acreos to make a Pegasus token. Actually, what did we just do here? I don't know how I just got a Pegasus token. Battle log. Nyxborn Champion. Oh, that's cool. So that counts as casting a support, I guess? Well, that's good to know in terms of how to make this work, because that actually makes it a bit easier to set up the combo. So, oh yeah, because it's whenever an enchantment enters the battlefield. And the ultimate creates an enchantment support. All right, cool. All right, well, that might change things around a little bit with what we're going to do. So how much loyalty do we have left? We don't have a lot, so we're probably going to have to wait a turn. But, yeah, let's get Bullrack out this turn. Why not? This deck can also just win without the combo going off, which is a sign that it's probably not the most efficient combo deck at the time, but we're just running with it. So, great. Now we're going to Sentinel's Mark on our Pegasus token. It's a little vulnerable on the board here, but we'll see. And then you can start to see Bullrack doing its thing a little bit, and we're hoping to just go off if we can activate the first ability now at this point. So we need to make the Pegasus an enchantment, so we need to get loyalty to activate this first ability. And then we need to be able to cast a support or a an aura at that point afterwards to pump up or to spit out more Pegasus. Sorry, I'm not being very articulate this morning. I need to have some coffee before I start recording these possibly. All right, let's get some green and white. There we go. We're just going to get our Pegasus a little bigger because if he has Defender, it's a little tougher to Vigilance, whatever the heck it's called. Whatever defensive ability he's been granted. As you can see, even we're just getting quite a little bit of chip damage in with Bullrack's ability. He's one of my favorite friends. I call him my best friend forever, actually. I just like comboing off with him. He's a little silly, so but we can see all this buffing that he's doing even when we're not going off infinite combo just from a couple buffs we're doing each turn. So it looks like we're probably going to win this without even activating the ultimate Pegasus ability. But I'll keep trying to record things and see if we can eventually get this to go to infinity and beyond. But looks like it might not be our day today. We might win too early, which is a good problem to have. Let's see, what else can we do? I don't think we can get enough matches. I maybe could have held off on some of the other things I cast to make these things happen before. But yeah, this is the deck in general, and we'll try to do another recording later of how it will work if we can get the combo to go off first. But this is where it is at the moment. So hope you're enjoying this video. Thanks again, Alfred and Nair, for your help in getting this thing getting this idea planted in our brains. It's just fun to take a fun idea like this and just start going off. So, all right, victorious without going off with the combo. We'll try it again later. See if we can show you the whole combo going off with infinite flying horsies.